Dan. My name's Shane, but that's all right. Hey Paul, how are you, man? All right, Dylan, how you going? Mars man, welcome. Let me know where you're from too, guys, if I don't know you. We got Lewis, John. I'm going to tell you what, I'm just going to make my chat a little larger here because all of a sudden I'll lose track of everything if I don't. So here we go, pop out chat. Alrighty, cool. Hello from the Philippines, it's from Garrett, awesome. Hey Cheddar, how are you, man? John, welcome. Groovy Ghoulie, I like that name, it's always good. Hello from Twang City, USA. Is that Nashville? Paul hanging out in Jupiter, Florida. Cool, I don't know where that is. I know Florida pretty well, but obviously not well enough. Mitch says, what did you find? I'll get to that in a moment. All right, we've got Stephen from San Antonio, awesome. Hello from Pittsburgh, from Christopher. Steve, welcome mate, how are you? Got something for the next got something for the next hangout, awesome stuff. I picked up something doing a little bit of my, I got this routine where I visit a few of the second-hand shops all in one day, and I found something that was too good to pass up. So yeah, I'll share that with you in a sec. And it was dirt cheap as well, man. It was dirt cheap. Thomas, welcome from Texas. I love the channel. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Ziggy, Palm Beach County. That's Paul. Awesome. Buzz Wilson, welcome. Hello from Canada. That's from Eric. Landon, welcome, man. Sweet plank. Thanks, dude. So it's cold in here, and I always suck when it's cold, but I'll try my best. This is going through the PV Bandit vintage drive channel, but the Kemper. Whoa! All right, we got Nandopt, I don't know how to pronounce that properly, but from Puerto Rico, welcome. All right, can I ask a real quick question? What do you think about the Fender Japan traditional 58 Strat? I don't know if I've played that exact model, but I had a look at the entire range of the new, well, I can't play them because I haven't seen any lefties, but Rick actually played a couple of the brand new 2018 Fender Japan stuff, and he said they were great. So yeah, pretty much on par with the new Mexican Strats and Tellys in terms of, you know, fit and finish and all that kind of stuff. Tone-wise, very similar too. We really couldn't hear any difference. All right, so yeah, about once every week or two, or three, somewhere around there. Yeah, about every 3 weeks. I go around a couple of the second-hand shops, and that's where I tend to find a lot of the stuff that you see behind me. Well, not so much the Studio Pro, but I ended up getting the Bandit from a second-hand shop here. And no, actually that Bandit wasn't, but the prior Bandit was. So I've had a few of them over the years. But anyway, a lot of the amps I do get for the channel and guitars and stuff that I've picked up over the years, I've gotten from a lot of these shops. So I just continually go around in circles with them until something pops up, and something popped up, and I thought, you know what? I'd take a gamble on this, and if it's no good, I know it's okay already, but if it was no good, I'd be able to sell it for a little bit more. So I thought, you know what, I'll take a gamble on it. Adam says he's looking to get a Bugera V5. They're good little home amps. Don't expect too much out of them. Like, they're 5 watts. The best thing about them is you can switch them down wattage as well, which is great. Phil, how are you, man? Dylan says, did I profile the Mustang GT40 yet? It's my favorite tone. Actually, I've got the Bugera on here. I did that for last as well. Let's. This is the Bugera on 10. Add a bit of delay because there's nothing on it. There's not much delay on there either. So if you're into that, I can leave it on that setting. Zach, welcome. John, how you doing, man? I had a look at the local cash converters after coming home. Nothing good, unfortunately. Tokai Strat 84, awesome. Yeah, they're good guitars, man. I don't think they actually make lefties in those, or they never did, or I haven't seen them. But there's always plenty of right-handed ones at a shop here in Melbourne called the Swap Shop, which is a pretty cool store. They usually have at least one of those in there. There's a few other shops that do a lot of that stuff as well, the older Japanese stuff, but they're great. They're really good guitars. Lewis says, I'm left-handed, but I play right-handed. Is that really odd? Well, Mark Knopfler does that, so you're in good company. I think Clapton is also a lefty, but he plays righty. I could be wrong about that, but I heard that from somebody. It's not uncommon. A lot of guys would just swap back in the day because they didn't have left-handed guitars. So I guess when Knopfler was probably starting out, there might have been some. I don't know, maybe not. It's hard to know, but yeah, he always just played right-handed. Have I ever noticed the slight hum in the effects loop of a Fender Blues amp? Of my Fender Blues amp. I don't actually use it, man, so I'm not too sure. I don't think so, though. I have tried it with a delay recently, and no. Usually if there's a hum, there's a ground issue somewhere. Like it could be your power supply. Try it on batteries and see if you still get the same noise or hum. It's usually something to do with the electricity. All right, let's go back to the Bandit. There we go. I like this one better. Solid state power. All right, Robert, how are you, man? I wish I could shred now you're here. I'm gonna have to learn how to do some of that stuff. All right, so what's a good sale price for a slab board Strat? I don't know what that is. Slab board Strat. If anyone else knows, feel free to chime in on that. I haven't heard of that before. All right, so I'll show you what I got. And some of you will shake your head, and some people will smile, and some people will unsubscribe, and then some people will subscribe. Actually, I've got a video coming up of it tonight, but I thought, you know what? I'll explain a little bit about this because that's what I do. I haven't done a live stream for a while, like a proper one, so sorry about that, guys. I just been busy trying to get everything done for what I do. It's crazy. It's been really crazy. But yeah, so on the floor we have an amp. And I'll give it a minute. Just take a guess. Take a guess if you can, if you want to. And put it out there and see what you think it might be. I'm going to say I got this for $174 in Australia, right? $174. So that's roughly, I don't know, $130 US, somewhere around there for our overseas friends. All right, Fender Supersonic, worth it? Just depends, man. Like the 22s, for me personally, aren't loud enough. They're good little amps, but they're not loud enough for the rooms that I play in normally. The 60 is awesome. Like the 60, I played a 60 on the Guitar Search Saturday that went up yesterday, and it was great. And they got the right amount of power, all that kind of stuff. So if you could get a Supersonic and you play live, get the 60. The 22s are okay tone-wise. They're just not loud enough. And I also don't think their stock speaker is very good in the stock 22s either. Most people I know change those out. just for more volume and more low end. They're a little bit on the sort of bright side. All right, is it Glenn Fricker's favorite amp? No. Here we go. Look at that. So I managed to score the brand new PV Bandit for 174 Australian dollars. This is the latest one. This is like the one that you can buy currently. And I've had so many people say, hey, when are you going to review one of these? And you know what? I just haven't had a chance to do one because I didn't want to go out and buy one at full price. Nor did I just want to borrow one off a friend if they needed it as well. So I just thought, you know what? For that price, I'll take a gamble on this and give it a go. Now, the video that I got coming up is kind of pretty long, but I think it answers all the questions about these versus the red stripe one, which I've got on the floor over here. So, yeah, look, I'll give you my quick synopsis of this amp. I think this is louder than the red stripe Bandit. At least audibly, it feels louder. I don't know. I've actually got a sound pressure level meter thing as well, which I'm going to use on the comparison video. But on the video I just straight up did of like a review and critique of it, it's brutally loud. I played this the first day that I got it. I took it out. Well, second day that I had it, I took it out and I had the volume on 3 to 4. Whereas normally on the red stripe one, I've got it at 6 in the same room. So I reckon this one's kind of louder. It's got the digital reverb, which is both a pro and a con on this amp. There's nothing wrong with the sound of it, but I go into more detail about that in terms of what I think about it and how it responds at different volumes. But overall, it's pretty cool. It's got like a selectable power attenuator on the back, so you can turn I'll bring it forward a little more if I can here. It's got a power attenuator on the back, so you can sort of switch it up and down from 25 to 50 to 100%, which is pretty cool. You get the full output volume 100%. But I think the reason why this amp is louder, it's got this extra circuit the red stripe one doesn't have. Here, this boost circuit, I think it's 10 decibels of boost, which doesn't sound like a lot, but 10 dBs is heaps. So if you're going from, say, 110 decibels to 120, that increase is ridiculously loud. So yeah, well, there we go. So that's the amp. I might take this out for a play. I'll see how we go again tonight. I gotta say, this is a much brighter amplifier than the red stripe one too. I don't know if it's just the speaker that's in here or what, but there's a couple of the clean channels I don't like. The one that I like the best is the classic one. Yeah, but overall, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So that's what I scored. There's the speaker, the Blue Marvel. It's actually a pretty good speaker. They're efficient, very loud, and not too big. And whoever owned it before me obviously had a cat. There's fur in there, so I'll have to give it a vacuum. But yeah, so there we go. I know a lot of people that watch the channel have one of these amps, so it should be fun to give it a go. And yeah, let's change guitars here. Let's try this. Yeah, so let us know what you think if you're a fan of the Bandits. Man, sorry, my headphone cable's getting in the way here. Let's get rid of this. All right, there we go. Have I tried any of the Marshal Origin heads? No. No, I haven't tried any of those. If I was to buy one, I'd probably get the head because I feel like the speakers in some of those combos aren't very good. And that's probably why I didn't like them so much. But cranked up, I reckon the head would be the way to go. All right. Les, yeah, I just showed everybody what amp it was. Thanks, Sean. I appreciate that. That was from Robert. Yeah, cool. No, I haven't tried the head. I actually saw one at a shop yesterday. I was like, ooh, they look all right, the heads. But yeah, I haven't actually tried one yet. What do you think of the combos? Did you get to try one of the combos? Boss Katana versus Bandit. I think I already did that video. I could have already have done one. I could be wrong. Thoughts on stage right tube amp, on the stage right tube amp. You know what? I don't know what that is either, man. Sorry, I'll need to look that up. Is it like a little small packaged valve amp or something? Is it? Doug, welcome. All right, I just missed a whole lot of stuff. I just realized. Hang on, here we go. Finally caught a live show. Usually I'm 10 or so hours late. Thanks, Miles. Appreciate that. Yeah, I don't schedule these things. I just do them whenever I can. So, yeah, today was the day. I thought it was going to be a Supersonic. Good find. Well, Supersonics, like I said, great amps, but I thought I'd give this a go and have some fun with it, and maybe, I don't think I'm going to hold on to it, to be honest. It's not a bad amp, but you know, my Red Stripe one's where it's at for me. I got the speaker I like in there, all that kind of stuff, so we'll see how we go. What's a suggestible pedal? Ooh, that's an interesting question. I don't know. Depends what you want. What are you looking for? That's an open-ended question that I can't answer. For those who know my channel, I've been raving about Bandits for about 8 years. And yeah, this is one of the first video, I think the first video I've got going up of these new ones tonight. So yeah, we'll see what everyone thinks, and yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Let me move this down. It's not scrolling. Awesome. Bandit versus Blues Deluxe with Swamp Thing. I've only got one of the Swamp Thing speakers right now, but I could do a comparison between both of those amps with different speakers. That would be easy. A guy like Robert, who can play his ass off, and the style that he plays in, the Marshal Origin cranked, would definitely do the job for his sort of stuff. I mean, no doubt about it. I've heard him use it. It sounds great. Is it the little crow behind me? No, it's not actually. I got a Dan Electro 84. I've got this one called a Blake Wright guitar, which is like $130 guitar with P90s. I'm going to be using it on this video coming up. Take 2 of this. So for those who are wondering where the Fret Z-Lot video is that I did, I haven't released it. They sent me another one. The first one broke within 48 hours. And they said, oh, it must have been faulty. And there's stuff about it that, there's this Bluetooth connectivity thing. That didn't work properly, so they sent me another one. But the actual pieces of tape that you stick on your fretboard died. So they've sent another one out. So I'm going to use that cheap guitar to basically put this Fret Z-Lot, or however you pronounce it, Z-Lot thing on. And yeah, so that's why that's out at the moment. I just have to get motivated to reshoot that whole video again. So it might be a while. What speakers in my old Red Stripe Bandit? Texas Heat, Eminence Texas Heat. And that's what you're hearing on this. That's what this is, basically. I profiled my Peavey with the Kemper, and that's with that speaker. I got a few different sounds from the Bandit. This is with the T-Dynamics cranked, or all the way down, but the volume up on the clean channel. I need to get the levels set properly for all of these. They're all different. Am I a Mesa fan? No, not really. Look, I've heard a few that I like. I just don't, for my particular style of music, it doesn't really, I don't play a lot of sort of classic rock stuff or heavier. So I just don't look for them. They're not bad amps. A friend of mine's got two and they sound great when he's playing them, but for the sound that I kind of go for, yeah, I don't know, man. The only one that I really like is this little 18 watt one that he's got. And it's a really great amp. I'd love to borrow it actually and do some videos. I might see if he can bring it up tonight. I'll grab it off him. Cannabis Rex, yeah, they're good speakers, absolutely. I reckon Eminence, a lot of those Eminence speakers are great. Like they're loud and you can find almost anything you want from them. So they'll actually like increase the volume of your amplifier because the speaker's more efficient, all that kind of stuff. When am I going to do another YouTube Summit show? I don't know yet. I got to organise the next one. I haven't really thought about it much recently, but I should probably get onto it. There's a few other guys that I spoke to as well. Dave Simpson is another guy that he's going to be on the next one. All being well. It's an interesting sort of sound, this guitar too. Am I still enjoying the DSL 40? Absolutely. It's my favorite amp still. Just as a straight plug and play amp, I love it. I went back to playing my Fender for a couple of live gigs with my pedal board and it was so good. Like it was great, you know, Strat Fender amp, it's hard to beat. But just as a straight up plug and play amp, and I do use that delay, you can see there going through the effects loop. It's a killer. I love it. I'm not selling that or anything. So I actually prefer that over pretty much like, as much as I rave about the PVs, the Marshall eats it alive in a live mix. It really does. It's just got more of everything. And I love the sound of my Bandit too. Like I could use that any night of the week, but yeah, that particular Marshall, man, I love it a lot. I've actually got a video, like I posted a live session thing with me using that like 3 months ago or something, and I forgot to show people my settings, so I've got a follow-up video scheduled for a couple of weeks from now, going over how I run it and all that kind of stuff. Have I ever played a guitar with P90 pickups? I've got a Les Paul Special, and Gibson and Rickenbacker made a hybrid guitar. Okay. I haven't played a Les Paul Special, but I used to have a custom shop VOS Gibson with P90s. It was a gold top. Really great sounding guitar. Just, you know, some of the places I play at, man, and even here at home, some of the single coils can just buzz like nobody's business, but a great sounding guitar. That's probably the guitar I wish I had kept out of all the ones I've sold. It is a really nice guitar. And the one behind me here has got P90s as well, this Blake Wright, but I don't really play that much. It's going to be my guitar for doing the second video on this, which I don't have a whole lot of high hopes for, to be honest, but we'll see how we go. When will I be hitting the States again? Hopefully next year. So I turn 40 next year, believe it or not. I don't act it or hopefully not look it too much, but yeah, next year I want to do a big trip. So if you want to meet up and hang out, I'll be there. Also, I'm going to Denmark in, what date is it? In just over a month's time, in 1 month from today or tomorrow. So I've got that trip coming up, which will be awesome too. But yeah, I'd love to go back to the States. I think next year for the 40th, I'd like to try to put some money aside and go for a trip. So yeah, if you want to catch up, man, let us know. I can hopefully steal some of your licks. GoFundMe. No, I don't do any of that sort of stuff. Just yeah. No, I love the US. I'll definitely go back. I didn't get a chance to go there this year. I was going to go for a friend's birthday, but it didn't work out. But yeah, next year for sure. Oh, fingers crossed. If it all goes well. 6 in line. That's awesome. Says, why do you go live when my missus gets home and asks me to look at some stupid cushions she's purchased? I'm a little bit, my hands are so cold. I don't know if you guys, everyone overseas won't be suffering from that. My place is always cold, man. I should just get a heater for this room. All right, I have the same amp and I use an MI crossover drive for the low to mid gain. Cool. I don't know if I've tried that pedal before, but MI makes some good stuff, MI Audio. I got 2 Essex, great guitar for the money. Awesome, so have I. You know what? Let's get it out, man. How can you go wrong with an Essex guitar? They're gonna be the new PV Bandit of the electric guitar world. That's my goal. I don't work for them. I have no relationship with them, but I reckon they're highly underrated. A lot of people are saying, are they as good as the Harley Bentons and all that kind of stuff? That's a question I can't answer, but I'll tell you what, I don't work for Harley Benton. Unlike a lot of people that promote them, so yeah, just be cautious of that online. All right, let's have a look at this. This is the Tally. So I recently just purchased a neck humbucker pickup for this. I got it, it was from China. It was a few bucks. And I put it in, and I got a video coming up on that too. It'll be, I think, pretty hilarious, hopefully. We'll see how we go. So you're gonna notice coming up on the channel too, I got a lot of different stuff planned. I think Wednesdays through till September is Pedal Wednesdays. That's the official thing, but you're gonna notice some different videos coming up. I like to mix up what I do a lot, just to sort of gauge what's happening and all that kind of stuff. You're gonna see less Sky music stuff as well. I got a whole lot of really great ideas for videos and suggestions I've had for ages where I just want to get them done. They're really great ideas, at least I hope so. And we'll take it from there. So. This Tally's great. I just put new strings on this yesterday. It feels awesome. All right, when's the next hangout? I don't know yet, man. They just sort of whenever I can. I could have done one today, but I just thought I'd go live for an hour or something. It just depends on how much time I got. What do I think of the Fender bass breaker amp? That's a good question. You should probably check out the video I did with Dr. Rick where he blows one up. I think they're probably the least reliable Fender amp I've ever seen. I went to a separate shop and tested out one of their the same model as that, like the exact 1830, whatever it was. And one of the speakers wasn't attached to the cabinet. It was actually sitting in the bottom of the amp. I've played so many where the valves rattle, like you'll hit a chord and you'll hear coming through the sound. So yeah, look, tone-wise they're okay. I thought it sounded great before it died on the video, but just they're very unreliable. Just look on the forums, type in bass breaker, you know, unreliable or bass breaker noise or something like that. Just look for lots of stuff and see how many problems you see of those amps online. There's just lots. Have I tried the Dude pedal? No, I don't know that. How does the Squire compare to the Essex? I did a video on that, so just go back a couple of weeks, you'll find it. Overall, this is probably like as good as the classic vibes at 1/3 of the price here, at least in Australia. It's got bigger frets, which I like. So you get the big frets, you don't get those micro frets. The neck finish is just as nice. I haven't done anything to this guitar. I don't even think I set up I didn't have to do anything to the action either. I'm pretty sure it was all just fine. Oh, I might have brought down one of the saddles slightly. But yeah, overall, it's great. So this pickup that I had, I don't know where I've put it. I had it out before. Wait till you see this. There's a video coming up where I'm holding this gold pickup in my hand. And yeah, I don't want to ruin the video. I'll ruin it if I talk about it, but check it out. It's going to be funny. How do I get into the subscriber hangout? Just email me at intheblues@outlook.com and I'll put you on the list. And that's it. I'll just email it out before the live stream and click the link and wear headphones and all that kind of stuff. I put a list of things in the email. So yeah. Terry, how are you, man? Shane, the bass breaker seems to be unreliable. The B Marshal Origin is killer. The B. Oh, I'm not sure. Oh, maybe that meant to say new. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, the good thing about the Marshal stuff now, I know going back years ago, a lot of the DSL amps had problems. You'd see a lot of them being returned and fixed. I think they had like power transformer issues, as well as probably other issues. The guys where I bought this from said none have been back, which is awesome. So I haven't had any problems with mine. I've got a few messages with people saying, oh, my amp's making a crackling sound. It's just a valve. Like, just take it in, they'll swap it, and you'll be good. But yeah, I haven't had any problems with mine. I love it. Yeah, actually, I shouldn't say that. The only one problem I've got is the cloth at the front has lost a lot of its like tension, so it's kind of saggy. Have I seen any fallout in Australia due to Gibson's problems? The only thing I've seen is a lot of shops aren't carrying them, or Gibson aren't making them available to some shops, maybe because of minimum order quantities or something like that, which is a bit of a shame. You'd think they'd be more inclined just to get as much stuff out there as they can, but it doesn't work like that, it looks like. Oh man, hands are freezing. Essex available in the US? I think so. Everyone's telling me Rondo Music. If that's a website in the US, you can get them from there. I have a feeling though, from what I've seen, the headstocks look different on some of the models. So just be cautious of that. This is the VTG series. I wouldn't probably recommend going any lower than this in this range. The VTG ones are awesome. If you like the classic vibe style guitars, you'll definitely get a kick out of these. A mate of mine, I'll give this away. So a friend of mine heard me play this and he went and bought one the following week. I then had my Strat with me and played that live, and he bought that the following couple of days after. So we're gonna do a video together coming up, I think on Tuesday. I don't know if it'll be a live stream or whether we'll just be, I'll shoot it and edit it down. So we'll see how we go. Saggy or road worn? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that cloth is funny. So if you push a mic up on a Fender amp, for example, the cloth kind of just conforms back to where it was when you move the mic. Like if you push it in there, this one it doesn't. So yeah, just be cautious of that. Looks like a headstock on a Spear guitar. Okay, I don't know that one. I gotta say though, I don't mind it. It's a kind of Stratish, which kind of might look a bit odd on a Tally, but yeah, I don't know, I like it. There's new strings. Am I running through the Kemper? Yep. I was going to use the 2 notes with the Marshal, but this was much easier to hook up. So, how come no one reviews Yamaha guitars? Are they really that uncool? Yamaha guitars are good. I just don't think, it could just be that they're not in. You know, you see a lot of people promoting the same sort of stuff, and it might just take a few people to go, you know what, let's try some Yamaha stuff, and then all of a sudden it might get that sort of snowball rolling. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know. Pacifica's a good value guitars. I just don't see any lefties around. I got a few friends that swear by Yamahas, and especially some of the old Japanese ones as well. They're really great guitars. Hopefully you can get your hands on the new Stingray and Cutlass guitars in the near future. I'd love to see a video. Thanks, man. I'll see what I can do. What bands do I gig with? So I just have my own band. I've had it for years. Since before YouTube, and probably long after YouTube as well. So yeah. We do mostly original stuff. I do blues. Excuse me. I just get a drink. But yeah, I tend to do more original stuff than anything else these days. I don't really do a whole lot of cover material anymore. I just I don't. Not that I ever did, but there was a time where I did do a little bit. But no, I just write my own stuff. All right. Semi-hollow for under 2,000 Australian dollars. I know you can get the heritage guitars for that price at the moment. They're usually worth a lot more, but most places are sort of blowing them out. In terms of other brands, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Your best bet would be to go to somewhere like the Music Swap Shop. Just walk in there; they'll have probably 50 of those guitars for under $2,000. Why did I get rid of the Tech 21? It wasn't loud enough. I had the 60, I think it was the trademark 6212. It just wasn't loud enough. I probably should have changed the speakers. Back then I didn't know much about the speakers, and I think it had those 7080 Celestions, which are terrible speakers in my opinion. They're not terrible in all amps, but generally, like, any speaker you put in there is better normally than a 7080. It just wasn't loud enough. I remember running that at a New Year's Eve gig that we did on the back of this truck, and it wasn't loud enough. I was struggling to hear it. It was right behind me. So yeah, after that, it was good. Like, tone-wise, it was great. I had a lot of compliments on the tone of that thing and all that, but it was just that it just wasn't loud enough. And yeah. Where can we buy your CDs? I used to have them on my website. I don't anymore, but I put my latest album back on iTunes and Spotify and all that kind of stuff. So if you go to, just go to shanesband.com, you'll see it come up. Otherwise, you can just, I could tell you my last name, but then it's too confusing. So just go there and you'll be able to find links, and or you can just listen to it for free on Spotify. But yeah, the latest album is probably my favorite in a way. Like, it's less guitar wanky, and it's songs, which is something that I didn't. It's kind of inspired by three guys: Knopfler, JJ Cale, and Van Morrison. Not to say it's as good as any of those guys, but that was the influence. I wanted to have like an album you could put on in the car and just drive. And it's called This Drive too. So play Red House, get a copyright strike. That's how I got my last one. Do I own any right-handed guitars? I do. I've got one. Anyone want to see my my right-handed guitar? It's a $60. It's a $60 beast. What was the question? Did you compare the Kemper with the Axe FX? I haven't had a chance to use the Axe FX at all. Supposedly they're great. I just haven't used one, but I do have a video coming up, 4 or 5 ways to record guitar without making any noise. And that should be sort of a little bit of a comparison as well. So, hey, 6 in line, thanks man. Some fingerless gloves for streaming in winter foundation. Thanks, dude. That's crazy. I should get some of those actually, that'd be great. I'll see if I can find them. Thanks, man. Yeah, thanks again. That's crazy. Where are the Essex guitars made? They're made in China. Home of tone. Is it going to work? No. I like these webcams. They don't. They choose to focus on what they choose to focus on. It's awesome. All right. Well, should I get my right-handed guitar out of the cupboard? It's a beast. I did a video on it years ago, actually. Well, Brian played on the video. Yeah, we've got 153 people here tonight. Wow, that's awesome. So, or today, this morning. It's not this morning now, but it will be somewhere. So, yeah, please, if you enjoy the streams, please leave a thumbs up, or if you don't, do the opposite. It's all good. I appreciate that. Yeah, Essex are kind of like, they've been around for a long time. You can read up on their history about how long they've been making guitars and all that kind of stuff as well. So I've brushed these guitars off for years. You've heard me like ridicule them on live streams and all kinds of stuff going, these are junk, like why bother? I saw one of these for $60 and I turned it down because I thought it was going to be a piece of crap. And then all of a sudden I picked one up and I went, oh wow, look at the finish on the fretboard. Are you kidding me? So, yeah, I was like, this is great. It ticks all the boxes for me. I like the neck size. I like the big frets. It looks kind of cool. It's the mustard sort of finish is a little bit different, but I don't even think twice about that stuff. A lot of people will go, oh, how do you live with the headstock? I tend to try to focus on what I'm doing as opposed to like looking at the aesthetics of the headstock. I don't mind it either. So for me, I couldn't care less about that stuff. Hey, Sonia, welcome. Do I use the reverb on the Blues Deluxe or a pedal? Amp reverb all day. I don't like using reverb pedals if I can help it. It's just one more thing to hook up. If the amp doesn't have reverb, then I would think about it. But all of my amps have reverb. I make sure of that actually. I don't know if I'd buy an amp without reverb. I know they call it the talent control, like the more of it you need, the worse you play, but it adds a niceness to the sound. And yeah, I tend to kind of like having just a bit of reverb in the mix. I don't care if it's digital or whether it's a spring reverb either. I couldn't care less. There's only one reverb pedal I found that is as good as a actual reverb tank, and that's the Boss Fender FRV1. It's got a very fiddly or finicky sort of tone control. You got to sort of turn it all the way to the left to get the sound that I like, but it's really, really cool. Do I like the FR with Kemper or the guitar cab with Kemper? I'm not sure what you mean by FR. If that might be an acronym I'm not familiar with, man. So the way I like to use the Kemper, just to put it into context, I only use it with the profiles that I've made. So what you hear on my videos, if I use it with a guitar video or review, are my amps behind me. And they're my amps mic'd up with my own mic, with the speaker that's in there and all that sort of stuff. So none of that's emulated. It's all like legit. It's like a snapshot of my amp with those particular settings. And that's what you're listening to with this PV Bandit vintage drive channel. I've got a couple of others too. What do we got? We've got, where is it? We'll go to the Marshal. There you go. Hey Nick, thanks man, I appreciate that. Cheers mate. Lando, Cheddar, Kung Pao should do a live stream next. Yeah, there you go. You fire one up, we'll all join. I'm up for that. I got a few more, got an hour or so, a couple of hours before I need to go. Bigfoot in Germany, welcome. Says, I've been looking for an Essex here in Germany. Closest I can find is a Vienna. Oh, is in Vienna, Austria. 360 euros. They used to be 70 euros. Word must have gotten out. Wow, that's crazy. Sorry to hear they're so expensive. Yeah, they're not worth 360 euros. It would be cheaper for you to buy one from Australia and ship it back than to spend 360 euros. That's like 700 bucks. That's insane. Mega amp. I got to test a mega amp. I got to do it. I might just go get one at one point and see if they're any good. Terry, everyone do a live stream. Yeah. Butcher Toto. I tried Toto, Hold the Line last time from the tabs, and that was an experience. I don't wish to butcher that again. I have the Line 6 M5 and it has great reverbs. Yeah, absolutely. That's probably where those things shine. I think the reverbs and delays are really good. I actually had an M13, the big one, for a couple of days. And I found I loved all of those kind of effects, but the drives just weren't as good as my actual pedals. So I had my pedals going into this big thing that was supposed to replace everything, and a wah pedal. So my board was like that wide. And I went, you know what? No, I should have just got the small one. Guitar Fetish has some decent guitars. Cool. Okay, hang on. I'm missing a few. Oh, whoa. Okay. There you go. It's scrolling again. Roland amps are the most reliable ones in my opinion. They never ever break down. I agree with that. Roland amps are built like tanks. They are good, no doubt about it. They're kind of like the PV Bandits. They just keep going. You can any day of the week still find stuff from the 80s with the PV Bandit range, and they're still working. It's just insane. All you Aussies know each other, so how is Olivia Newton-John? David Melvin? What do we got, 22 million people in Australia now? Hey Neil, how are you, man? Yeah, I'm going to be there. I'm going to bring... I don't know if I should bring the Bandit or I want to play the Marshal tonight. I might bring that up. We'll see. I might bring them both. Make a song called Are You Not Entertained in the style of Russell Crowe from Gladiator. I reckon the thing that's going to happen with the Blues Cubes is in a couple of years, you're going to find them dirt cheap, like how I found this PV Bandit. You're going to find them for a whole lot less money. They're overpriced new, in my opinion. They're not a bad amplifier, but they're a great amp actually. But you're gonna find a lot of those Roland amps dirt cheap. They're just solid state amps drop in value. They're overcharging for them, and they can kind of get away, by doing that. They can kind of get away with it. But you look at the price difference between like a Bandit and a Blues Cube, and they're kind of the same amp. You could say, oh, well, you can plug those things into the back of the Roland amps, but it doesn't necessarily make it better. It just changes the sound. You should be able to dial in your sound out of any amp, realistically. Both are Chinese-made, Canadian maple neck. Essex uses alder body. HB uses ash. So Essex also use, Canadian maple on the neck and US wood on the body, US ash on some models, not on this one though. But yeah, Cheddar, what are you doing? Oh, dude, thanks, man. he asks, did you try any of the Ibanez AZ guitars you had at the 5-Star Guitar Search Saturday? Saw some on the wall. I like the ones that I played. No, man. Like being a lefty, there wasn't any. There wasn't any on the wall. I gotta admit something. I think some of those Ibanez guitars are knocking it out of the park in terms of visuals. Like they're a bit too pointy for me. If I was to take one of those to the blues jam, I'd be ridiculed. But they're beautiful. Like I don't know too many guitars that look as nice as Ibanez do right now. And I'm not a fanboy of them at all. Like you see all the boring stuff I play, it's all like one color and they're very typical kind of guitars. But Ibanez, man, I don't know. I kind of secretly like some of their stylings and tops just look fantastic. So Cheddar, thanks, dude. You don't have to keep doing that, man. I feel bad. Once you get your channel monetized, I'll be dishing some of that back. So get ready. I'm going to be doing a live stream with Cheddar on his channel coming up. I think on the 5th of next month, which is a Sunday. So if you're not subscribed, go check out his channel. And yeah, Rick and I will be both on there. It should be cool. So yeah, appreciate that, mate. But seriously, you don't have to donate. You already have done that enough. I know it's very un-YouTuber of me to say that, but yeah, seriously, man, I appreciate you just being around. Roland overshot the mark on the Blues Cube, too rich. Yeah, price-wise, I totally agree. Look, there was some rumblings. I know a lot of guys that own shops, and this isn't Sky Music, this was another store. And they were saying that Roland had planned on dropping the prices of those amps in Australia because they weren't selling very well. But they didn't. So, yeah. Not that they weren't selling well because they're bad amps, just because of their price. In Australia, they're seriously expensive, but they are really, really good. But I get that question nearly every week. Like, why would I choose between a Bandit and a Blues Cube? And I say the Bandit's half the price. You can pick one of them up for next to nothing secondhand too. So, much like the one that's on the floor. God, that's not easy to do. Super. Yeah, thanks, Landon. Roland. Right now, the Blues Cubes are more than the Katanas. Yeah, absolutely. I don't think they're necessarily a better sounding amp than the Katanas. They're just different. Like I got that question today actually on a message. What would I choose out of this and that? And the Katana is always the same thing. Like they sound great, but you're going to hook it up to a computer to get the most out of it. If that annoys you, don't go for that. So I can kind of see where like the old school guys will probably still prefer like the Roland Blues Cube. But yeah, or the Bandit. I just don't think realistically the Bandit won't give most people a good bluesy sound. I mean, I use one. I've been using them for years. Those tone caps are just a rip. You just get a good pedal for the same price, yeah. And I mean, you buy, like, I've tried all of those tone capsules. One of the things that I noticed was, like, why would you buy an amp and then have it completely change its sound? Look, some of them sort of retain the original sound of the amp, but you're right, you run a pedal into it. Like, why would you spend a couple of $100 on changing the entire tone of the amp? I don't sort of get it. Anyway, I guess everyone likes different things, but that might appeal to someone who's like a massive Eric Johnson fan or something. But Jason says, did sort of what you did with the posters behind you, but I'm grabbing mine off Pinterest and printing them. That's the idea. Cool. Yeah, so all of my posters I have printed. These aren't ones you can buy. I just got them off the internet and had them done. I've got a few more I'm going to replace. I've had some already printed that I want to replace a few of these already. But yeah, it's just something different. It's good to be able to get your own posters and sort of, deck the room out however you want. I want to do this wall too. I'll take down these Dan Electro posters and I want to pretty much just put the rest on this wall as well. I may actually be changing up the angle of how I shoot. I was thinking of shooting diagonally this way and having like this wall and part of this wall in the shot. So yeah, it'll be a different angle. It'll give me a bit more room as well to kind of have my desks. There's not, if you were to see around this room right now, I'm like in the only one spot where I've got space. So yeah. But yeah, I hope you guys like some of the new videos are coming up as well. There will be, like I said, every Wednesday there's a pedal video going up for a little while, but there's some different content on its way, and I think it's going to do all right. I think it'll be more enjoyable than just stuff videos, you know. So yeah, we'll see how we go with that. More option paralysis with the Katana. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing with the, look, the good thing about the Katana is you can actually get a good sound out of them pretty easily. The bad thing about like the Fender Mustang GT series amps, you can't get a good sound out of them easily. So you're forever tweaking with them as opposed to actually, you know, sitting down and playing and enjoying what you're hearing. You're always thinking to yourself, how can I make this amp sound like it's not in the other room? Or how can I make it sound good? The Katanas you can get a good sound out of relatively easily, right? You can just do it from using the front panel as opposed to having to hook them up. But to get the most out of them, you still have to hook them up to the computer, and then you start that whole tweaking thing. And what I've learned with a lot of those amps is if you set them up to sound great at home, if you try taking it out and playing it live, it's not going to sound the same, right? So you got to really set them up at gig volume if you're going to be playing them live. And a lot of people will sort of say, oh, why would you want to play an amp like that live anyway? I mean, why not? They're loud enough, they're light, there's heaps going for them. So thanks, Terry. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I'm going to try mixing up this room. There's, I think, well, I can't really do too much with it, but I think I'm going to just change the angle and have, yeah, more posters coming up over this wall. I'll have these speakers kind of back behind here. I've got this big monitor that I'm looking at. I'll show you. So I've got this wall here. That I'm going to have my desks and all that kind of stuff on. And there's my crutch. Sorry, guys. Is that right? No, almost. So yeah, I'm just going to mix it up a bit and see how we go. Yeah, some of my other posters are pretty cool. I'm going to probably replace this one that everyone whinges about. I'm going to put that over on this wall. But yeah, I got a few others. I can't wait to put up. There's some 80s stuff in there as well. What amp are you using tonight? The Essex Tone Tele sounded great. I was using the Kemper, and I was using that was the PV Bandit vintage drive channel tone. That was this tone before, I think. Is that loud enough? Guitar is awesome, man. I love it. We'll go back to the Essex. And it still sounds pretty good. Hopefully. This neck pickup. Goes to show you how bright those Joe Barton pickups are, huh? That was pretty eye-opening just for me. I kind of thought that that's gonna fall. Let's not do that. I kind of thought that the Bartons might not be quite as bright, but they're way brighter. Any opinion on using a pig nose for recording? I know a couple of people that swear by those little amps. My suggestion would probably be try it with a couple of mics. Your best bet would be maybe a larger condenser microphone a little bit further back. Give that a go. You'll get some sort of room reverb in there as well. I haven't used one personally though, but I know guys that swear by those things. I had a VHT i30 or something like that hook up to an iPhone, iPad. Now I have a Hot Rod Deluxe. Actually, yesterday I was trying a Hot Rod Deluxe version 4 again. Those amps are awesome. Yeah. Once you, I don't think you can ever go past like an amp that you can just plug into and play. Pedals and all that is fine too, but there's something a lot easier about just turning something on and playing it. And that's the cool thing about why I like the Kemper so much. You know, I've got some of my favorite settings just always dialed in. I don't have to go over there and start fiddling. Like if I was to do a video on this, and I was like, it needs a little bit more top end, I can just turn the treble up. There we go. It's just like an amp. If I was stuck on a desert island, would you bring your Telecaster or another Tele? No, I love that Telecaster. It would be a hard decision between that. Yeah, the Tele would probably be the one that I take. I love the PRS as well. I love one of my Little Crows, the Corvino as well. I think that's a great guitar. My answer would change based on how I feel on the day, but odds are I'd probably take that Telecaster I just put down because it's got stainless steel frets. It'll last forever. Would I choose a Blues Junior or a Katana? It just depends, man. I mean, like, I always say, what do you need? Like, do you already have pedals? If you've already got some pedals, go for the Blues Junior. If you need something louder, that you've got everything in one, the Katana's the way to go. I mean, I know they sell the lower powered ones, but if you were to get like the 100 watt 212, it's going to blow the Blues Junior out of the water. So in terms of just oomph, you know what I mean? So some of the Blues Juniors, the newest one's probably the best one. If you're going to buy one, probably just get the version 4. They're a bit louder too. All right, Neil, take it easy, man. I'll catch you up there. I have a Deluxe reverb and a Blues Junior behind my Katana and Super Champ. Super Champs are good little amps. Those X2s are awesome. Thanks, Landon. I missed all of that, so appreciate that. They still make the Tele you're playing with the headstock? Yeah. I mean, this is brand new. A mate of mine just bought one of these the other week after he heard this live, and he bought exactly the same guitar. So yeah, this is the most current version. This is just how they look. The VTG series. I guess that stands for vintage. It's probably a bit hard to see, but VTG. They got a website too where they list all of their guitars. There's like thin line Teles with, the F-holes cut out of them, and some, like I was saying earlier, with the American Swamp Ash bodies and the Canadian maple necks and all that kind of stuff. So they use good, nice stuff. I have the righty version of your PRS SE. My only problem is the nut feels sharp. Oh, okay. Well, that sucks, man. Sorry to hear that. People miss stuff, I guess. Sometimes, I don't know, I haven't had any problems with mine at all. I haven't done anything to it. I put the extra spring that it comes with in the back, and that was it. It's such a great guitar. Every time I play it, I'm like, oh, it's so much easier to play than all of my other guitars, and I never thought I'd feel that way about a PRS guitar. I just wasn't that into them. What monitor speakers are you using? So these two are I got the KRK Rocket 8s. That's on at the moment, but it's not doing anything. I've just got it all going through the headphones instead. Will I be taking some footage at the Melbourne Guitar Show. What date is that, if you know? I'm not too sure. I went last year and it was all right, and then it got really, really busy. And then I was like, I'm done. I don't like big crowded rooms like that. Yeah, and I hate going to concerts because of that as well. You know, when there's like 1 million people cramming through somewhere that they just shouldn't fit. That kind of, I've never enjoyed that. I've never gotten into it. But yeah, so early on at the guitar show was great. And then it did get a little bit too busy for all of us. We were like, we were done. But I might go back this year. If I'm around when it's on, I'll probably go. What's with the EHX adverts? Good question. So Electro Harmonics promote some of the videos I've done for them with Rick and some of mine as well. They just promote them on their own behalf. So you sometimes see an In the Blues video come up before one of my videos if you don't have YouTube Red, which is what I've got. I don't see any ads anymore anyway. So if the ads annoy you, then try YouTube Red. It's pretty cool. The app is so much better too when you actually use it. I've had it now for 3 months. I love it. I'll never go back to free YouTube again. But yeah, they're actually pretty cool. Electro Harmonics obviously like that video enough, and it gets 8,000 views a day. So right now, that video over the last month has got a couple of 100,000 views just based on of Electro Harmonics promoting that video. So I'm not doing that. That's what they're doing. They're obviously trying to push for their soul food pedal. Unless there's another one that you've seen, but the only one that I can see in my analytics that's getting a really high amount of views right now is the soul food one. Do I think that Little Crow would allow you to film in their factory? Oh, totally, man. The only problem is they're the equivalent of northern Canada to Florida away. So they're a long way away. It'd be like going east to west coast, actually, in the US, something like that. I don't often go to Western Australia for anything. I almost had to go there for work at one point. But yeah, I haven't been there for years. It's a nice part of Australia, absolutely. It's just, it's a long flight. It's 6 to 7 hours or something like that. Excluding all the other stuff to get to their actual shop as well. So look, if it works out one day or they want me to do it and we can come to an arrangement where I can go there and do that, that'd be cool. But yeah, it is a very long way. Do I still like my Bugera? Absolutely. I was playing it like 4 days ago out in the other room. I usually use that out in where I sit and edit my videos when I'm waiting on stuff to pre-render or whatever. I can just jam out on that. I don't really use it in this room a whole lot, but yeah, I still use it. I've been using the Mua a little bit too, the little digital amp. Not as much as I probably thought I was going to use it, but it's still a fun little amp. It's a good late night kind of thing to play around with. Do you think people are getting carried away with vintage guitars? Surely some things are better over time. Oh, totally. I think there's a sort of, what's the best way of putting it? Guitars are built better now than they were back in the day. There's no doubt about it. Whether or not they sound any better, that's subjective, but the technology in terms of pickups hasn't really changed that much. So it's more about the bragging rights owning an older instrument. I don't think a lot of older instruments sound better than some of the newer ones. I haven't played a lot of like 50s Gibsons or anything like that, but I've played guitars from the 60s, Gretsch, Fender, Gibson, and what was the other one I played? Oh, a couple of Fenders, I think. I don't think they play or sound any better than current guitars. They're just nice, you know, like they smell old. So yeah, I'm not going to say that's the case all the time, but I played a lot of stuff from the 70s from Fender that just played like dogs. It was horrible. Like I would not buy one of those over a new guitar. Not a chance. So yeah, I totally agree with you. I think the hype doesn't actually justify a better instrument. It's more like, well, the resale value on this is going to be huge because it's old. I had a Bugera. It sounded like a tinny little guitarist trapped in a tuna can. Sounds like the, what was it? The Metal Zone. So that's the Bugera V5. See if we get this to work here. So that's with everything on the amp at 10, so yeah. Alright, when will the new Bandit comparison video be ready? So tonight I've got the video going up. If you've just joined, I'll show you this again. And then I might wrap it up. But, oh no. Why do I get tangled? Maybe I'm not as bright as I wished I was. Hang on, let's show everybody this. Alright, here we go. Let's just turn the camper off. So the video review, it's a full review. Pros and cons, at least my thoughts on it, of this is going up tonight. So yeah, if you've been waiting to sort of see what I think of this or how it sounds if you're in the market for one, I'll have this going up, which will be awesome. And then I'm going to do a comparison video between this and the Red Stripe one. I still have the stock speaker for the Red Stripe PV Bandit. So if you prefer to hear apples to apples, like stock speaker in the Red Stripe, stock speaker in this, I can do it. I'll just have to switch it over. Otherwise, yeah, I've got my Texas heat in there, which I think makes a huge difference. I think that would make a huge difference to this amp as well. But that video I haven't shot yet. I'll probably shoot it Tuesday. I'll aim for sometime the week after, probably, to put it up live. But I'm definitely got a video of it coming up, no doubt about it. So yeah, another PV in the house. It's starting to look a little crazy in here. I'm going to be offloading some more stuff pretty soon. Did your buddy buy that Grande? Are you talking about, is that the Strat? Is that what you mean? Is that the Strat? I'm not too sure. Just a bit more info, man. Sorry, I'm not 100% certain what you mean. I believe that Epiphones will hold their value. The quality seems to be going up in them. Yeah, well, that's a great example of a guitar that's built great. You know, they're consistent. Squire Classic vibes are like that too. They're like really well-made guitars. I was born in 59. Gets pricey. Big box for a 112 is an open back. It is an open back. Most of these PV Bandits are very similar. So you get like yeah, I prefer this. I actually like open back cabs more, and it sort of allows the bass frequencies to shine a little bit better, especially on a solid state amp. You know, you don't really want to close up the back. I think you sometimes lose a little bit. You might get a more focused low end sound, but it's actually got this feature on the back called damping, which loose, medium, and tight. So you can kind of replicate on tight how it might sound with a closed back. So it's a pretty cool amp. I gotta say, I like it. I don't think I'm gonna keep it, only because I like the Red Stripe one more still, but this is pretty good. Have I tried any Dumble style pedals? Yep. Actually, have I got it here? Oh, I had one that I was going to do sort of a follow-up video on, which has gone missing. It's around here somewhere. The best one I've got is the Zentastic. It's made by a company called Pedals of Babylon in Chicago, and they're not expensive either. Handmade and on a breadboard. They're pretty cool. And that's kind of like a Zen drive with a boost. So you get an extra presence control on there as well. It's pretty cool. And that's the funny thing is, I tried that pedal with this amp and it worked great. It kind of took out a little bit of the highs, which worked well for this combination. Bigfoot says, I also like open backs, fills the room better. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, the bigger the cabinet, the bigger the amp sounds in the room. Even if they've both got the same size speaker, the same wattage, the bigger box always sounds better. Look at a Vox AC15, put it up against the Blues Junior. In the room, the Vox will sound larger, but just because of the cabinet. Some funny questions here. You have a nice touch with soloing with your fingers. I should do more of it. Thanks, man. You mean just playing without a pick, or? Yeah, I used to only play without a pick years ago. And then I had a few friends that played with picks, and I realized there were certain things that I couldn't do. There's still lots of stuff I can't do, but I realized like if I was going to play certain things, I'd need a pick. Maybe I don't know. So sometimes I just put the pick in my mouth when I'm playing, and I'll just go with my fingers, because there's certain things I like being able to snap the strings more, finger style. The Dude is a good dumble pedal. I haven't tried that one yet. I saw one yesterday that I need to look into. I saw it actually at a shop. I was like, oh, it's called the Dumbly or something. It's got a different sort of name. One thumbs down. Thanks, Ben. Appreciate that. So everyone go to Ben Coombs' YouTube channel. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Check out his channel too, guys. He's always posting live streams and interviews and stuff as well. American Music Supply. All right, if anyone has any last questions, let us know. I appreciate everyone hanging around. We've had a good audience in here today, which is great. I think we peaked at around 170 earlier, which was awesome. So we lost a few people once the talk of the Bandit arose. No, man, I'm only kidding. But yeah, let us know if you got any last questions, and I'll happily answer a few here. But yeah, I'm going to try and get more live footage of stuff coming up as well, all being well. I don't gig too much at the moment, like maybe once a month or once every 6 weeks, but I go jamming most weekends. So we've got a few of the guys coming up tonight, like Rick and a few of the other guys. So I might take up a few little bits and pieces and see what we can get on camera here. Have Fun Guitar says, I like the tele you were playing, but the top-mounted strings kills me. You know what? I didn't even notice it when I bought it, to be honest. I didn't even... I was just blown away by how it felt to play. And for those who don't know what that means, it's sort of like straight to the ashtray. So there's no holes on the back. It's on a string-through kind of deal. So, yeah, I didn't even notice it until I got it home and I went to restring, and I was like, oh, okay, well, that's different. Supposedly some people say that this makes the guitar brighter. I don't know. I'm not sold on that after listening to it. I think it might, but it might not. That might be one of those kind of weird things that gets said over time at a shop, and then everyone spreads it around. Do you think there's an audience for a pole dancing unfit male guitarist? Oh, absolutely. I'm sure you'd attract a few people. Do I still sing? Yeah, absolutely. Bigfoot, thanks, man. I appreciate that. What about that Supro guitar? So I had a quick play on that. I put the video up about that a few days, what was it, last week, I think. So yeah, if you want to see that, and it's probably my best intro clip I've shot in a while, actually. I was playing all right that day. Check it out. So I got that. This was actually Jerry from Jerry's Lefty Guitars sent that out to me. He sees, obviously, that there's a huge value in me helping him with videos and stuff. Yeah, he was nice enough to say, you can keep it, you can sell it, you can do whatever you want with it. I was like, wow, I'm going to keep it, because it's one of 40 or 37 electrics in left-handed that are getting made, and they're only available there. So it's a beautiful looking guitar. 3 pickups, kind of like a Strat, you know, in the terms of how the pickups work. Yeah, it's got this really nice matte sort of black finish on the back here instead of the high gloss thing, so it feels good. It's got obviously some smears on there from my fingeries, but yeah, it's a great sounding guitar. I love it. Love that Supro. I want their set of pickups. You could probably get their pickups. I wouldn't be surprised. All right, guys. Well, rock on. Have a good night. Thanks for Landon and Terry and Sonia for moderating the chat. Jamal, it was good to see you again, man. We'll try and do another hangout stream, and if you want to be a part of the next one, just email me at intheblues@outlook.com. There's a couple of rules just regarding headphones and microphone and all that kind of stuff. Otherwise, it's just not fun for people to watch. But yeah, if you want to be on it, just shoot me an email. Keep it. That's an awesome Supra, as rare as it comes. Totally, man. I don't plan on flipping it. Funny thing is now, I actually have more guitars than I would like to, which sounds kind of weird, but yeah, I'm starting to go, oh, I got a couple too many guitars now, so we'll see how we go. We'll see what the future brings for my stuff. But anyway, guys, take it easy, and I'll catch you all soon. And if I missed any questions, then leave them once the stream is cached on YouTube. So take care, guys and gals, and I will catch you soon. So yeah, stay tuned. Got some new content coming up, and hopefully it goes over all right. I'm going to focus on the stuff that's a little bit different, like Guitar Search Saturday. Some of these other videos I got planned too, hopefully are good. So I'll catch you soon.